This is the Mo Patton Sports Videocast with Maurice, Patton, and Terrence Smithson. LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish.
Want to play ball at the next level? You got what it takes? Then you got to provide a professional highlight video to coaches. Recruit Reels is the nation's leading sports highlight video production company, and they're here in Tennessee. Starting at just $3.99, Recruit Reels helps student athletes realize their dream, and families afford college. Watch highlight videos and review video packages at recruitreels.com. Call them at 615-896-6076.
Want to welcome everyone into the Mo Patton Sports Videocast it's the Blue Crossbow version of the Mo Patton Sports Videocast. We're here at Brentwood Academy, and obviously the Eagles have got a big game on Thursday night, the first night of 3 nights of state championship football. I'm Maurice Patton along with Terrence Smithson, and Terrence, let's jump right into it. Thursday, first game, Division IIA championship matchup. Lausanne out of Memphis. The Lynx come in at 13-0. They're catching a perennial state title contender, Knoxville Webb, at 11-1. We don't see a whole lot of Division IIA football, but this Lynx team, again, they're coming in 13-0. They defeated University School of Jackson 30-14 in the semifinals. Got a Mr. Football in Eric Gray. I know that you like watching these line play for a lot of these teams. What have you come up with on the Lynx?
Well, I didn't come up with much on the Lynx. I couldn't get much information on them, but I do know that Mr. Gray carries the mail very well and has several scholarship offers from LSU, West Virginia, Miami, Michigan. I mean, who's who of top 25 teams. So, hey, they're a great ball team.
And obviously, Mr. Gray, again, the Mr. Football winner, he was the winner over Chase Hayden out of St. George's, who won it last year and is an Arkansas commitment. So that kind of tells you, kind of backs up what you're saying in terms of the list of suitors that he's got.
You're right, and Mr. Hayden is the son of former UT Vol standout Aaron Hayden.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he's got a good pedigree there.
Absolutely. Again, Webb knocked off St. George's not in last week's semifinals, but in the semifinals a couple of weeks ago. Webb 69, St. George's 48. We were talking off camera about arena ball scores, and you know, if you weren't paying attention, you would have thought, those two played an early basketball game, huh?
I know.
Yeah, 69-48. Webb, again, David Meeske typically has his team in this position this time of year. I don't think he would have ever expected to have an 8th grader as his feature back, but that's the case this time around. The Spartans with Elijah Howard, we talked about him a few weeks ago as Webb came down here to and played over at Battleground Academy. Elijah Howard was a Mr. Football semifinalist as an 8th grader.
That's interesting.
That's interesting. But I tell you, I saw a clip, and again, we had it up on Mo Patton Sports on our Facebook page from the preseason, 5'10", 160, and he hit the corner and he was gone in a preseason game, and he must have been doing that quite a bit here over the regular season as well.
Well, apparently Butch Jones saw something he liked with this kid. He offered him. So, hey, he's a good-looking kid. It's been interesting to see how much he can get done against that Lausanne defense, because they don't give up at 10 points, or actually 9 points a game. So yards are going to be at a premium. So if Knox Webb is going to pull this one out, Mr. Elijah Howard is going to have a big night.
Yeah, definitely going to see a new state champion in Division IIA. St. George's won this thing last year, defeated North Point 50-20. Again, Webb knocked St. George's out in the semifinals a couple of weeks ago. So, obviously a big matchup here, and a couple of big backs to keep an eye on with Eric Gray for Lausanne and Elijah Howard, the 8th grader for Knoxville Webb. Webb is a little bit more diverse. It's not just Howard, but again, when you've got an 8th grader who's as involved as he is, it tends to kind of catch your attention.
Oh, it definitely catches your attention, because you have to wonder how the upperclassmen feel about that one. 8th grader coming in, boy, you're not even in high school yet.
Yeah, but obviously he's getting the job done,
yeah.
so I'm sure they're embracing him to some degree anyway. But, that game is at 3 o'clock on Thursday. At 7 o'clock on Thursday, we've got these Eagles who are getting ready for their second state championship matchup in as many years with the Big Red of Montgomery Bell Academy. They played an instant classic last year, Brentwood Academy pulling out a 56-55 double overtime victory for their first state championship in a pretty good while. Looking to repeat here. MBA knocked them off 31-24 in week 8 of the regular season, and the number that we just can't get out of our head, Terrence, 341. That's how many yards Ty Chandler had in that regular season matchup. 21 carries, 341 yards, scored all 4 of MBA's touchdowns in that 31-24 victory. So you got to wonder, what will Brentwood Academy do differently defensively to try to keep that number? Maybe half that would be a good night.
Well, I witnessed that ball game, and if I was coach, I'd be stacking the box, because MBA has thrown maybe 10 passes the whole season, a game. So they're going to have to prove to me they could beat me through the air, because Mr. Chandler wouldn't beat me.
Well, and to that point, in the semifinals a couple of weeks ago, MBA defeated Innsworth 21-17, and Ty Allen, the quarterback, actually threw a touchdown pass to Ty Chandler. Allen also ran for a touchdown, and we've talked about MBA needing to be a little bit more diverse over the course of the season, because Chandler has put up a lot of yards, he's put up a lot of carries, and getting away from him, just showing a threat of doing something else, give somebody something else to think about. And Allen started to meet that challenge a little bit against Innsworth, who had beaten MBA 21-20 in the final game of the regular season.
Well, if they want to get back and hoist that gold ball, they're going to have to be very diverse, I would imagine, in this game. I can't imagine the Eagles would play the same type of defense that they played in the regular season game. And I think Ty Allen's going to have a big game, and I suspect he's going to have to throw it to somebody besides Ty Chandler in order for them to win.
Well, you know that Brentwood Academy knows who number 44 is, and you'd like to think, like you said, they're somewhat prepared for him. Meanwhile, Brentwood Academy defensively, the last few weeks it's kind of centered around Cam Johnson, a guy who come into the year you'd heard a lot about as a receiver. He started to show up in the defensive backfield as well. He's got 4 defensive touchdowns in their last 4 games, including an 82-yard pick 6 against Baylor in their 38-3 semifinal victory a couple of weeks ago. So again, he's kind of solidifying that defense on the back end along with Jack McDonald at linebacker. But offensively, obviously it starts with Jeremiah Oatsvall, the Austin Peay commitment at quarterback. And at receiver, Mike Archie and Daniel Taylor have started to show up for them a little bit more, with Cam Johnson maybe seeing a little bit more time on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, Cam's going to have a big game on the defensive side of the ball in order for BA to stop him. Also, Aaron Spell, the 3-technique defensive tackle, which he actually plays better than the 1 technique, because he really lights that center up when he gets on the nose. And I think he prefers the nose rather than the 3 technique.
Well, in that 1 technique, he's getting a single blocker, I guess. You got 2 guys coming at you, but Spell can take up 2 blockers. He's a large individual.
He's a large individual, and I expect more out of him for stopping the run game, because if he doesn't have a big game, well, Ty Chandler will have another big night.
Meanwhile, MBA up front, they've got a sophomore left tackle, and I talked to Marty Uverard earlier in the week about it. Jackson Lampley came in preseason camp, took over that position from the get, has started every game for them as a sophomore at left tackle. Now, you know, obviously left tackle doesn't carry necessarily the significance with them that it would with a lot of teams, because it's not like they're worried about the blind side, because Ty Allen didn't drop him back a whole lot. But still, you know, a sophomore, you know, getting it done for a team that's focused on their offensive line as they are, I think it kind of speaks to the type kid that he is.
I agree. He comes from a good pedigree as well. His dad played up at UT. He's a lineman up there, so he knows how to play football.
And Marty said that he's kind of got something to him, little nastiness, yep, there you go.
You love to see that nastiness when you got a big guy. If he got a little tiger in him, man, he can be a hoss.
Absolutely, and as your former coach would say, if they'll nip at you when they're a puppy, they'll bite you when they grow up.
That's right.
So keep an eye on Jackson Lampley. Keep an eye on this NBA Brentwood Academy game. If last year's is any indication, it should be another classic. That takes care of Thursday's matchups. When we come back, we're going to walk through Friday's schedule. Stay with us.
John Mayer Builders proudly sponsors Mo Patton Sports Videocast. With over 1,500 homes built in Middle Tennessee, John Mayer Builders knows the importance of families and communities. They have numerous business awards to their credit, proving that John Mayer Builders is built to win. Like them on Facebook. John Mayer Builders, our reputation is building.
Express Employment Professionals North Nashville in downtown, owned by respected business leaders Christy and Jason Patrick, is the premier employment agency in the community. Express is one of the community's largest employers, consistently working over 500 people at over 125 private businesses each week in Davidson County. Whether you are a company looking for the next great employee or a candidate looking for the next great job, Express is the employment resource for you. Call them at 615-313-3690 or visit their website at www.expresspros.com/InNashvilleTN. Like them on Facebook at Express Employment Professionals, Nashville North and downtown.
Terrence, starting up Friday at 11 o'clock, you've got the 1A championship matchup. Greenback 14-0. It's got Dresden also 14-0. Second year in a row that Greenback has made it to the state finals. They lost to Nashville Christian in last year's championship game, 42-14. These guys had Mr. Football finalists in both the lineman and the back category. Josh Sylvie won the lineman award. Kane Roberts, a finalist, came up a little short, but you know, it just kind of speaks to the job that program has done this year. And again, 14-0 kind of speaks for itself.
It does speak for itself, and 10-0 spoke pretty loudly too, because the first round of the playoffs they were supposed to play Unaka, and Unaka decided to tap out and not play them after losing 70-0 in Midway the last week of the season. So yeah, that Greenback squad has carries some weight up there.
Apparent up in Upper East Tennessee, absolutely. They carried some weight down here a little closer too, because they knocked off South Pittsburgh in last week's semifinal game, 42-27, and that's a South Pittsburgh team that is pretty well thought of as well.
Oh, talent, tradition rich. South Pittsburgh has been in the state championship game for as long as I can remember.
And won a lot of them. So for them to beat those guys like that kind of tells you that they're coming down to Cookeville with something in mind.
They want to hoist the gold ball.
No question. Meanwhile, this Dresden team defeated a pretty good Wayne County team last week, 33-14. You know, we've talked about Preston Rice. He wound up winning Mr. Football in Class 1A. Dresden had the 2015 Mr. Football winner, Dresser Wynn, at quarterback, and they've been putting up some points. They're averaging 48 a game. So this could be a heck of a matchup here.
You're right, and Mr. Dresser Wynn has a lot of versatility and a lot of shiftiness to him, so it'll be interesting to see if Greenback can corral him and hold him down. I know both teams played great defense this year. They don't give up many points, but I think this may be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, absolutely. First time back in the state finals for Dresden since they lost to Friendship Christian back in 2011. So couple of teams with a little something to prove, I would think, and matching up in that early game on Friday morning. At 3 o'clock, you've got the 3A matchup with Alcoa, and if it's 3A and it's a state finals, then it's Alcoa, because
that's just the way it is.
It really is. This is their 4th consecutive state championship appearance. So the Tornadoes, Gary Rankin, they're kind of used to being here. This time it's not CPA though. Liberty took care of CPA in last week's semifinal game, 33-20. So it's Liberty out of Jackson making their first state championship appearance. And Alcoa went on the road last week, defeated Sequatchie County 24-0. And this Sequatchie team was undefeated going in. Alcoa's only loss came against Maryville in their cross-county matchup, 43-29, so no shame in that.
Not at all, even though Coach Rankin said he could beat Maryville if he'd had Jacoby Stevens.
He did tell Kevin Creasy that, yeah, so you got to keep an eye on Rankin. He might be out there looking for some ringers, y'all, so be careful, but I think Alcoa is just fine with what they've got, including their Mr. Football winner, the receiver/returner, Tyke Kellogg. Again, they're in their 4th straight championship game. They are 2-1 in the previous 3. They won it last year, defeating CPA 20-0. Again, Liberty lost to CPA 21-0 in last year's semifinals. Got a little get back this time around with that 33-20 win, and they were down at home 20-13, and then they got a couple of pick sixes late. 2 pick sixes, not 1 but 2. One to go ahead, and then 1 to kind of seal the deal late. So really athletic bunch here, this Crusader team, including the quarterback Corey Newble, and they've got a receiver Rodney Castile who won the 300-meter intermediate hurdles last spring. So
bringing some speed to the table.
No doubt, no doubt. They got some speed and some athleticism, and it'll be interesting to see how Alcoa matches up with that. Liberty coming in at 12-2. Their last loss was 47-14 to Pearl Cone. They've won 8 straight games since then, so they are on a bit of a roll. We just had a visit from Cody White, and you know, it's one of the things that's why we try to clear these videos. We don't just kind of show up out of nowhere, because we have asked a couple of coaches, hey, can we come and shoot our video at your place? And they're like, maybe not. So Cody just wanted to check and make sure that what we were getting, we weren't giving out any government secrets there. And I can appreciate that, but didn't quite expect it. I wish he had stuck around for a minute. We'd have got him on.
Yeah.
But at any rate, Alcoa and Liberty in the 3A championship game at 3 o'clock on Friday. That sets up the 7 o'clock 5A championship game with Farragut at 13-1 taking on a team that's won its last 29 games, the defending 5A state champion, Eagles out of Independence.
Well, it's Coach Scott Blade, the man who always makes me look bad when I pick against him. So I will not pick against him this week.
So we already know at least one of your picks, huh?
One of my picks going to be.
Farragut comes in off a 45-14 win over South Doyle in last week's semifinal game. Their only loss was 30-25 at Oak Ridge in the 3rd week of the season. Oak Ridge, incidentally, is where Scott Blade was before he came to Independence. So, coincidence? You decide. Anyway, the Admirals making their first state championship game appearance. They come in with a 2-way player, Cooper Harden, who has rushed for 1,200 yards, and I'm told he's better at linebacker. So he's a game breaker for them on both sides of the ball. Their quarterback, Adam Fulton, has thrown for 3,000 plus yards. So they come in here pretty balanced and a physical squad.
Not really a bunch of big names, no UT commitments like Independence. They got the 2 receivers is already, sophomore receivers is already committed to UT. But they're a very good football team. They don't give up many points. I think they give up something like 10 points a game. And when you got defense like that, you can always win.
No doubt. And Independence, we've seen this team roll up a bunch of points and blow a bunch of folks out. Hasn't been the case the last couple of weeks. They got up on Cane Ridge big, 49-19 going in the 4th quarter. all of a sudden they had to fight for their lives and get out of there with a 49-46 win in the quarterfinals. This past week against Brentwood, a team that they had beaten 21-20 in the season opener, they're down 21-7 at the half. Had to scrap back, took their first lead in the game with 45 seconds remaining to win it 27-24. So suddenly this Independence team, depending on how you look at it, either they've shown some chinks in the armor or they've shown some heart in being able to pull out some tight ones.
Well, the chinks have been there. The people are just exploiting them now. They're very small up front. As I've said all season, they're small front and up front, and it's when you play big squads, big physical football teams, it's hard for those guys to compete. But they've got heart and resiliency, and they find a way to come back. They refuse to lose.
They really do. Like you said, the two sophomore receivers, TJ Sheffield and Kendrell Scurry, have both already committed to UT. Scurry committed back in late July. TJ Sheffield committed earlier this week. And when you've got two receivers getting it done like that, you need to look at who's throwing them the ball. Brandon Hines, a first-year starter for them, it's a senior who has really come on and had a great season in light of the fact that this is really the first time he's played at the high school level.
Hey, it's a great coaching job. He's gotten better as the seasons went on. They were kind of a run-first team at the beginning of the season with Mr. Henderson back there in the backfield. But as the season has went on, he's matured and grown into that quarterback position, and he's playing lights out right now.
He really is. And Troy Henderson scored the go-ahead touchdown for him, scored 2 in that Brentwood win last week, rushed for 129 yards. So, you know, they're getting more balanced, but when it comes right down to it, Indy's going to throw the ball, and look for Landon Guidry to be involved. He's a Mississippi State commitment as a safety, but he's really gone over and concentrated on offense this year and really been a key for the Eagles on that side of the ball. Landon
Guidry is a great talent, and he's really deceiving. You look at him, he's kind of quiet and unassuming, but boy, when he steps between the lines, he comes alive.
He was the one that kind of pulled that team together at halftime last week when they were down 2 touchdowns and said, we ain't going out like this. And sure enough, they got some things going in the second half and got a win over a really tough Brentwood team, which, you know, we knew that team was a tough team. I think it kind of surprised some folks that they got up on Indy the way they did, but tough loss for Brentwood, great win for Independence, sends them back to Cookeville. They've got another big matchup, obviously, Friday at 7 o'clock against Farragut. So those are Friday's games. Stay with us. We'll walk through Saturdays.
Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish. At National Playmakers Academy, developing NPA athletes comes in threes. NPA develops its student athletes' academic, social, and football-specific skills. Next, NPA develops them for better exposure today, recruitment tomorrow, and college education through scholarships for the rest of their lives. We are proud of the outstanding athletes we have developed. We are more proud of the college graduates we have prepared. Work with National Playmakers Academy for developing gifted athletes into productive citizens.
Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers combine the best of bowling, games, food, drink, and fun. For all Middle Tennessee residents, Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers are the ideal destination for family entertainment. The safe, friendly environment is perfect for birthday parties for kids of all ages or business outings for adults who work too hard. Our friendly staff and fun atmosphere will help create those enjoyable memories with your coworkers, friends, and loved ones. Don't forget to sign your kids up for our Kids Bowl Free summer program. Visit us online at strikeandsparebowling.com or come see us in person at any of our nearby Strike and Spare locations in Donaldson, Hendersonville, Hermitage, Murfreesboro, and the Tusculum area for more details. We'll see you soon.
On Saturday at 11 o'clock, we've got the Class 2A championship game, and it's a rematch from last year as Marion County at 13-1 takes on Tresvant. And don't be fooled by Tresvant's 9-5 record. They are the defending 2A state champions. They do have a Mr. Football in Cordarian Richardson, a Clemson commitment. And those 5 losses, one of them's a forfeit. One of them was against Innsworth, and the other 3 were by 7 points or less each, one to South Haven out of Mississippi and one to Memphis East. So these guys have played some folks, and when you play people, sometimes you lose.
Sometimes you lose, but it also prepares you for this time of the year. You've played good competition, therefore you don't fear anyone because you know you've already played the best.
Absolutely. Got past Waverly last week, 34-26 in the semifinal game, in a game that Richardson was kind of slowed in. Only 6 yards, only 3 carries. They had some other guys to pick up the pace for them, and they pulled out the win. Got up early. Waverly battled back, got it tied at 26. They actually threw a touchdown pass to win it. Kind of threw Terrence off a little bit because he didn't expect him to throw the ball.
No.
But Tresvant won this game again last year, 40-35 over Marion County. This Marion County team comes in at 13-1. Their one loss is to South Pittsburgh, who we talked about earlier. Lost to them 24-17. That's a big county rivalry down there where you kind of throw the record books out the window. But Marion County defeated Austin East last week 35-21, and they've kind of run roughshod through Middle Tennessee prior to that win because they defeated Westmoreland 42-0 in the opening round. They defeated a pretty good Watertown team 49-15, and then went over to Chapel Hill and beat Forest 55-14. So we saw Watertown and Forest, and kind of, yeah, they really are. We kind of expected one of them to be in this situation. Marion County saw to it that wasn't the case. So obviously this is a team that's, again, steeped in tradition and has had a lot of success. They had 2 guys up for Mr. Football Lineman of the Year, Alex Kirkendall and Hunter McClain. Kirkendall won it, but I just think that kind of tells you what kind of talent they've got.
It does. And, you know, Waverly slowed Mr. Richardson down. He was a great talent. I watched him last year. He's a great talent. But when you load the box on any great back, they can be stopped because you only got so many blockers. And they're going to have to find a way to spread that football around and get him some running room because I think Marion County can shut him down. You
might be right. Defensively, they're awfully tough, as we've seen by these playoff scores that they put up. So that's your 11 o'clock game in 2A, Tresvant, Marion County. At 3 o'clock, you've got the 4A championship game. Knoxville Central coming in at 12-2 against Memphis East, also at 12-2. Again, another situation where you're going to see a new champion because Knoxville Catholic defeated Pearl Cone last year 48-8. Knoxville Catholic actually got beat in the second round by Knox Fulton, who Central turned around and beat 20-6 in the quarterfinals. So this Central team has now won 11 straight games. They started the year 1-2 with back-to-back losses to Campbell County and Catholic. They've run off 11 in a row since then.
Well, Brian Rosser's got them on it's Bryson Rosser.
Bryson Rosser.
Bryson Rosser's got them on a roll right now. And I expect them to bring a balanced attack in. And Marshall County had a problem stopping them, so I expect them to put some points up on the board. They
beat Marshall County over in Lewisburg 31-24 last weekend. And as you said, Jadarius Sackey, 141 rushing yards and a touchdown. 5'8", 220 kid, but apparently he brings a punch with him.
Maurice Jones-Drews.
That's not a bad comparison.
Not at all.
And then the quarterback, Trey Mitchell, both those guys seniors, and like you said, they stay balanced offensively. Mitchell threw for a couple of touchdowns, ran for one. Sackey ran for one. So they've got some weapons over there on the offensive side of the ball, and defensively they're stopping folks. Memphis East defeated Pearl Cone 14-13 last week. Lost to Pearl Cone 27-14 last year, but got a little revenge there. Timothy Taylor, their running back, their featured back, is a Memphis commitment, but defensively they've got a couple of guys up front. Tamarius Johnson and then 6'8", 310-pound John Rister. I'd say keep an eye out for him, but he shouldn't be hard to find.
No, you won't be able to miss him.
East's 2 losses came against Cordova, who lost in the 6A semifinals last week, and against Ridgeway, who they turned around and beat in the quarterfinals a couple weeks ago. So this Memphis East team is tested as well. They stepped out and played some folks and should be ready for a big-time matchup here.
I can't wait to see that game. I think it's going to be a hotly contested game.
Absolutely. finishing up Saturday night, 7 o'clock, the 6A championship game, and talk about hotly and highly contested. Oakland and Whitehaven, both of them 14-0. This Oakland team defeated Maryville last week 23-7. Whitehaven defeated Cordova 42-19. So again, you got a couple of teams that are on a roll, both of them undefeated. We've talked about this Oakland team all year. Whitehaven, another team that did a number on Middle Tennessee because they defeated Franklin a couple of weeks ago, 35-14. They defeated Overton 30-0 in the second round after opening with a 49-3 win over Lebanon. So, you know, this Whitehaven team is no joke. Rodney Salisbury does a great job down there. They've got a couple of guys, couple of defensive guys. Aubrey Miller, the linebacker, is a Mr. Football winner. He's committed to Missouri. They've also got a linebacker, Jalen Smith, who's committed to Air Force. So they've got some guys over there on the defensive side of the ball. They also had a Mr. Football Back of the Year finalist in Kylan Watkins. So
super fast.
Yeah, they've got, I mean, don't overlook this Whitehaven team. They are traditionally tough. This isn't their first rodeo. They've won a state championship. They've been in the state finals. And again, Coach Salisbury always has these guys ready. But this Oakland team, again, we've talked about them all year. They're led by Jacoby Stevens, the Mr. Football winner, the LSU commitment. And we've talked about all the talent behind him. Caleb Oliver at safety as a Mississippi State commit. Elijah Dobbins in that offensive line is committed to Middle Tennessee State. And they've got at least 4 or 5 other just in the senior class that will probably wind up playing college ball somewhere. And then Jackson Calton, the junior linebacker, is going to play somewhere as well. And the list just goes on and on over there.
It does, and this time of year you have a lot of nicks and bruises, and Caleb Oliver is banged up a little bit, and I hope he's able to go full tilt in this game because they're going to need him because it's speed on speed. I mean, both teams are loaded with talented athletes. They match up well with each other, and points are going to be a premium in this game. And the special teams is going to be big, and Oakland has great special teams. And I think that might be what seals the deal for them, field position, and then that Sears kid can hit it from 50.
Yeah, they've scored 14 non-offensive touchdowns Oakland has, and that could be a turning point here if Whitehaven gets careless with the ball or you know, a short punt, that kind of thing. Oakland can make a difference without their offense. So definitely going to be interesting to keep an eye on. And again, you'll have another new state champion in 6A because Ravenwood won it last year, defeating Maryville 26-17.
LT360 is a health and weight loss company based in Brentwood, led by Coach Scott Oatsvall and Brent High. They have helped more than 700 clients in the last year get healthy, lose weight, and feel better with an all-natural program and simple approach to exercise and nutrition. LT360 offers free health and wellness seminars each week. For more information, visit their website at lt360.com or call them at 615-312-8244. Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe, Nashville's answer to fast, friendly, healthy comfort food. With a menu featuring assorted grilled meats, fresh veggies, and a dash of inspiration, Taziki's casual dining is perfect for lunch, before a movie, or a dinner featuring laughter and great memories. Originality is our nationality. With 7 Middle Tennessee locations, one of them is near you. Check www.tazikiscafe.com to select your nearest location and next favorite dish.
Want to play ball at the next level? You got what it takes? Then you got to provide a professional highlight video to coaches. Recruit Reels is the nation's leading sports highlight video production company, and they're here in Tennessee. Starting at just $3.99, Recruit Reels helps student athletes realize their dream, and families afford college. Watch highlight videos and review video packages at recruitreels.com. Call them at 615-896-6076.
Let's hope we can do a little bit better than we did last week, because last week wasn't good. Wayne County at Dresden, we both had Wayne County. Obviously, that didn't work out. Waverly at Tresvant. Tresvant got that one. I had the Bears. You had Waverly. They came close, 34-26, Tresvant final. CPA at Liberty, we both kind of relied on CPA's pedigree to pull them through. Liberty thought otherwise.
Yeah, they did.
Knoxville Central at Marshall County. Again, we thought Marshall County's defense was up for the task. The Bobcats, though, are on a roll. They got that one. Pearl Cone at Memphis East. We both had the Firebirds, and we both missed that one.
Not a good day.
Not a good day. Oakland did take care of Marable, though, as we predicted, and Independence took care of Brentwood as I predicted.
Yeah.
So last week I was 3-4. Terrence was 1-6. We're gonna try to shore things up a little bit this week, though. Lausanne and Knoxville Webb. Who you like?
I'm going with Webb. Webb is traditional power, and I think Lausanne is trying to figure out how to get there.
I think you're right. I think, they're 13-0, but I just think Knoxville Webb, having been in this environment, in this situation before, will pull the Spartans through. I like Knoxville Webb in this one. You want to wait on this one, or you want to do it now?
We can go ahead and do it.
All right, Brentwood Academy and MBA. Who do you like?
I think BA's got the better players, but I think MBA's going to win the football game.
I just can't get over 341. I really can't. I like MBA in this one if they're going to just get down and dirty with it on the offensive side of the ball and just mush it at them, and maybe they can diversify just enough to open up Brentwood Academy's defense and create a little bit more running room for Ty Chandler, who doesn't need a whole lot.
If he has any more running room, he'll have 500 yards this game. He had 341 the last one.
I think he'll get tired before he gets to 500, but I like MBA in this one. In the 1A championship game, Greenback and Dresden, who you like?
I'm going with Greenback. Greenback was there last year, and I think they want to kick the door in this year.
I like Dresden in this one. I think they've got a few more offensive weapons and enough athleticism to kind of get out on the perimeter and do some things against Greenback. I like Dresden here. Alcoa and Liberty.
Alcoa, you can't go against Coach Rankin. He's been there so many times. He very seldom loses when he gets there.
I like Alcoa again, just like you said, the tradition of that program and the experience of having been there. I think these guys know what to do when they get there. I like the Tornadoes in this one. Farragut and Independence, you've already said.
Eagles, I'm taking the Eagles just cause it's the Eagles. I mean, they have those two UT commits out there at wide receiver, and they can flat get it done. And the Steele kid in the secondary may be the best player on the team that we never talk about, but he's a great defensive player, and he brings a load when he hits.
Montre Steele out there at one corner, Alan Watson, who sealed that win the other night with an interception inside the final 15 seconds at the other corner. We talk so much about their offense, and everybody does, but defensively, they've got some players over there. Again, Hunter Dupree at linebacker, David Demke at defensive end, and Michael Weathers at defensive tackle. Undersized, but they play. They got motors. They've all got motors. I like the Eagles in this one as well. On Saturday, Marion County and Tresvant.
I'll go with Marion County on this one. I think Tresvant got slowed down last week, and I think Marion County's got the horses to stop them.
I'm going to go with Tresvant in this one. I think they're going to find a way to get Richardson loose and maybe make a play or two in the passing game, kind of like they did this past week. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm wrong, but I like Tresvant to repeat here. In 4A, Knoxville Central and Memphis East.
I'm going to go with Rosser. In that passing game, I think they can overcome Memphis on this one.
I like the Bobcats in this one as well. I just think that I really felt like Marshall County would be here, and for them to go to Lewisburg and beat them kind of tells me something. I like Knoxville Central here. And the nightcap, Oakland and Whitehaven.
I'm going with Oakland. I think Coach Creasy wants to get it done, and I think he's got the horses to do it.
I felt like all year that this was Oakland's year. I think they've just got too much talent over there, if there's a such thing.
Well, they're skilled in every position, that they're efficient in every phase of the game. And if you take the offense away, all the special teams are good. The return game, the punt game, the kicking, they have no weakness.
I think you're right. I like the Patriots in this one. Those are our picks. Shoot us yours. Hashtag Beat Mostradamus on Twitter. Send us your picks of the 8 championship games. get more of them right than I do, you go into a drawing for a gift card from Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe. 8 locations in Middle Tennessee, one of them's near you. And if you can't get up to Cookeville, all of these games will be televised on My TV 30, so be sure and check that out. And the talent, as they call it, the broadcast teams for these games, Chip Walters will be doing the play-by-play, and Kelly Holcomb, former Lincoln County MTSU NFL standout, Kelly Holcomb, who's now an assistant over at Riverdale, he'll be doing the color, and he'll be worth the price of admission on his own, if you know Kelly. So they'll be doing both the Thursday night games. On Friday, you've got Mike Keith, the VOT, the voice of the Titans, doing play-by-play, and Jonathan Hutton with color analyzing, I guess, for the 1A and the 5A game. The 3A game, you've got Jason Martin doing play-by-play and Chad Withrow doing color commentary. On Saturday, the 2A game and the 4A game, Mark Packer, a longtime Knoxville sportscaster, will be doing the play-by-play. And Brad Hopkins, the former Tennessee Titan, you can check him and he and I out on our show Countdown to Friday on News Channel 5 Plus. But they'll be doing the 2A and the 4A game, and again, you'll have Jason Martin and Chad Withrow doing the 4A game. So again, if you can't get to Cookeville, if you're trying to stay warm, which may not be a bad idea this weekend, all these games will be on My TV 30, so you can check them out there. Again, check out Mostradamus' Pick 6, or Pick 8 in this case, on Mo Patton Sports. We'll have a breakdown of all 8 games. And be sure and check out the Strike and Spare Coaches Show podcast later this week. We're going to visit with Will Hester, who knows a little bit about winning state championships. He won one last year over at Ravenwood. He's now the coach and athletic director over in Nolensville. So we're going to kind of pick his brain about some of these matchups and what some of these teams are thinking going into the weekend. So be sure and check that out when it drops. That's going to do it for this week's Mo Patton Sports Videocast. I'm Maurice Patton. This is Terrence Smithson. Bundle up and be safe up there in Cookeville this weekend. We'll talk to you soon.